This video is sponsored by Banter. iOS 18 has been out for a while now. I made a video all about it, which you should check out if you've not already. But as ever with a new operating system, we're just scratching the surface in these early videos. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 10 more amazing things that your iPhone can do now, thanks to iOS 18. Okay, let's get into it. You can now perform both maths and currency conversions directly in the composition screen of apps like Messages or Mail. While this might not sound like a big deal, it's actually really useful. For example, let's say that I'm messaging a friend to let them know the total cost of some flights that I've booked and paid for, and I want to tell them how much they owe me. Instead of using a calculator, I can just type the total cost and then write /2 equals to divide that amount by 2. As you can see, when I do this, the iPhone recognizes that I'm trying to do some maths, and the menu bar above the keyboard provides a few different options. I can choose to either input just the result or include the full equation, which shows the breakdown of how I arrived at the number. Next, I can type the amount followed by the pound sign and press equals, and you'll notice that my phone assumes that I might want to convert this amount into another currency. In my case, it defaults to US dollars. I'm not sure if this is a system-wide default when using pounds or if the phone has learned from my frequent conversions between GBP and USD. Either way, I can choose to include either the full conversion or just the converted amount in my message. And just to show you, this works in email too. In fact, I think this feature is baked into the text composition part of your phone. So theoretically, it should work anywhere that you need to input text. It might not sound like the most exciting feature, but if you frequently deal with currency conversions or calculations in your daily work, this could be a real game changer for you. Your iPhone's lock screen has a camera button that when pressed and held opens the camera. The problem is that this will either open the default camera mode or the last camera mode that you used. Let's say that you always want it to open in selfie mode. Up until iOS 18, there hasn't been a way to do this, but now you can set it up with a few simple steps. First, we need to create a shortcut that opens the camera in a specific mode. To do this, open the Shortcuts app on your iPhone. If you don't have the Shortcuts app installed, head to the App Store and download it. Next, tap the plus button in the top right corner to create a new shortcut. In the Search Actions field, type in Camera. You'll see an option called Open Camera that lets you choose which mode the camera will open in. For this example, we'll select Selfie, but you could also choose Video mode, Portrait mode, Cinematic mode, whatever you like really. Once you've selected the desired mode, tap the little downward arrow at the top of the screen and choose Rename. I'll name this shortcut Selfie and then tap Done to save it. Now if you tap on the shortcut, you'll see that it opens the camera in selfie mode just as we want. Next, to add this shortcut to the lock screen, lock your phone and tap once to wake it up. Then tap and hold until you see the Customize button. Tap on this, then choose Lock Screen. Currently, the camera button at the bottom right of my screen is set to the default option, so I'll tap the minus button to remove it. Now tap the plus button to add a new control. Scroll down until you see Shortcuts and select the Shortcut Control option. This will allow you to choose one of the shortcuts that you've already created. Tap on Choose, then select the Selfie shortcut from your list. Tap to exit that screen and then tap Done to save your changes. Now, every time that you tap and hold on the camera button from your lock screen, the camera will automatically open in selfie mode instead of the default mode. If you experience motion sickness when trying to use your iPhone as a passenger in a car, like my wife does, iOS 18 has a feature that could really help. Head to Settings, select Accessibility, tap Motion, and then choose Show Vehicle Motion Cues. By default, this is set to automatic, which means that your phone will try to intelligently detect if you're in a car based on its motion, but you can also choose to manually enable or disable this feature if you prefer. When enabled, you'll notice small dots appear around the edge of the screen, which move in relation to the motion of your phone. The idea is that these dots help reduce or even eliminate the motion sickness that you might feel while using your phone as a passenger without interrupting what you're doing. I'm lucky enough that I don't suffer from motion sickness myself, so I haven't been able to test this feature firsthand, although my wife does seem to think that it works for her. If you've tried this one out, let me know in the comments if it's been helpful for you. So your deal is almost closed and all that's left is the security review. But when it comes to those lengthy security questionnaires, the endless back and forth between you, your security team, and the customer can often cause deals to stall out, leaving your deal at risk and dollars on the table. With Vanta questionnaire automation, go-to-market teams can complete security reviews up to 5 times faster, helping you close deals in less time than ever. Vanta's AI generates responses from your security knowledge base, so your team can review and submit in no time. Complete questionnaires in any format, from forms to portals. Over 8,000 global companies like ZoomInfo, Smart Recruiters, and Noibu use Vanta to streamline security questionnaires and close deals fast. Experience Vanta questionnaire automation for yourself with a self-guided product tour. Visit the link in the description of this video or scan my QR code to learn more. There's a really interesting new accessibility feature in iOS 18 called Vocal Shortcuts. To set it up, open Settings, then choose Accessibility and scroll down to the Speech section. Tap on Vocal Shortcuts. If you're doing this for the first time, you'll only see the option to set up a vocal shortcut, so tap on that. Your phone will provide a bit of information about what you're about to do. Just tap Continue to proceed. The way that these shortcuts work is really easy. You choose a specific action for your phone to carry out whenever you say a particular phrase. You'll record yourself saying the phrase 3 times so that your phone knows to listen specifically for your voice. You can choose from a variety of actions, including system actions, accessibility actions, and at the top, you'll find shortcuts. While we won't go into detail about shortcuts in this video, if you're already familiar with them, you'll know that this makes the vocal shortcuts feature really powerful. You can create your own custom shortcuts to do pretty much anything on your phone and then trigger them with a voice command. For this example, I'll go to the System section and choose Screenshot from the list. Next, I'll type in the phrase that I want to trigger the screenshot action. You can be as creative or as straightforward as you like here. I'm going to keep it simple and use the phrase take a screenshot. After pressing go in the bottom right, my phone will prompt me to say the phrase 3 times in a row. Each time that you say the phrase, wait for the green tick to confirm that your phone has recognized it before you repeat. You don't need to press anything while this is happening. Once your phone successfully captures the phrase, you can either add another shortcut or press continue. You'll notice that the vocal shortcuts menu page has now changed and your phone's microphone icon is on. This means that your phone is constantly listening for your specific phrase. If you want to disable this feature, you can do so by turning off vocal shortcuts, but do keep in mind that with this disabled, your phone won't be listening and so your vocal shortcuts won't work. I'm going to switch mine back on and say take a screenshot. You'll see that my phone recognizes the phrase and performs the action. If you're someone who saves a lot of photos from the internet to your photo library, you've probably experienced the frustration of saving a photo with an old date in the metadata. You then go to find it in your library, only to realize it's nowhere to be found. Well, technically it is there. It's just probably right at the top of your library. This happens because the old date in the photo's metadata means it gets stored in your library based on when the image was originally captured rather than when you added it. In iOS 18, you can easily fix this. Tap the up-down arrow in the bottom left of the Photos app and instead of choosing Sort by Date Captured, which is the default, select Sort by Recently Added. This way your library will be much better organized. Photos that you capture will still appear in the correct chronological order, but any photos that you save from the web will show up based on the date that you saved them, regardless of when they were originally created. By the way, if you prefer to have content like this in a written format, there's a PDF version of this video complete with screenshots, and you can access it along with all other PDFs I've created, plus future ones, for just $5 a month or by itself as a one-time payment. You can either scan the QR code that you can see on screen or follow the link in the description of this video to learn more. In the Calendar app, iOS 18 introduces several new view options. Here I'm looking at the month view, and just to the left of the magnifying glass at the top, you'll notice the View Options button. You can now choose from a few different layouts. First, there's Compact, which gives you a clear overview of the dates in the month, with a small bar underneath each date indicating how much activity is scheduled, but it doesn't show the specific events. Then there's Stacked, which looks similar to Compact, but gives you a bit more detail, showing how many events are scheduled on each day. If you select Details, you'll see fewer dates in the month, but much more information about the specific events that you've got scheduled. Finally, there's List View, which is more like the traditional calendar view, with the top part showing a compact version of the calendar and your upcoming events listed underneath. If you tap into a specific day, you have even more options. Using the same button, you can choose to view a single day, a multi-day view, which shows you today and tomorrow side by side, or switch back to List View. When recording video in iOS 18, you'll notice a pause button in the bottom left of the screen. If you press this, the pause button changes to a record button, allowing you to reposition your phone and then hit record again to pick up exactly where you left off. You can repeat this process as many times as you like, which means you could capture multiple shots seamlessly without having to edit them into one long clip during post-processing. The Photos app has had a complete redesign in iOS 18. I made a video all about it, and I received a lot of comments from people wishing that Apple had left it as it was. I actually really like the redesign, but I think it's really important to share a tip that many people aren't aware of: the ability to reorganize and remove items within the Photos app. So to do this, scroll all the way to the bottom of the Photos app, where you'll find an option called Customize and Reorder. Tap on it and you'll see a list of all the different collections available in your Photos app. If there's anything that you don't want, simply press the blue tick box to remove it. Likewise, if there's something that you'd like to feature more prominently at the top, tap and hold the drag bar to the right of the item and move it up to the top. If there's something you still want to keep, but you don't want to see it as often, you can drag it down to the bottom. I definitely recommend spending a bit of time doing this, because you'll find that the Photos app becomes much easier to navigate once you've got it organized the way that you like it. If you're enjoying the content here, why not sign up for my weekly newsletter, which is all about tech news and tips delivered free to your inbox each Friday. Sign up via the QR code on screen or the link in the description. iOS 18 has brought some changes to the way that links work in the Messages app. So here I've shared a link to a website from Safari, and you can see that it shows up as a preview. If I tap on the preview, I get a couple of options. I can copy the link or choose Convert to Text Link. If I select that, the preview disappears and the link shows up as plain text. But if you change your mind and want the preview back, just tap on the link again, choose Select All, and then Show Link Preview to return it to its original form. You can also tap on the preview again to choose Customize, where you'll find a few different styling options to personalize how the link appears. Also, and this feature isn't exclusive to iOS 18, it's been around for a while now, if you share something from Safari to Messages by tapping the Share button at the bottom and choosing Messages, the preview will appear just as we saw earlier. But here's a handy tip: if you select a passage of text in an article first and then press the Share button, the preview in Messages will not only include a link to the article, but it will also quote the selected text. As before, you can customize this, choosing to add or remove the quote as you see fit. For years, iPhone owners have wanted T9 dialing on the iPhone, and with iOS 18, Apple has finally delivered. Now, for example, if you wanted to contact a friend called John, you can open the phone app, tap on the keypad and type 5646. Your iPhone will recognize that you're likely trying to contact John and will show any matching contacts. From there, you can simply tap on the contact to dial their number. So there you go, 10 more amazing things that your iPhone can do with iOS 18. Stick around if you're interested in learning even more. I've got another one of these videos on the way soon. And as ever, if you found this video useful, do please consider leaving me a like and subscribing to my channel for more content like this in the future. See you on the next video.